Hi folks, today it's my great pleasure to be joined by my colleague, Dr Nicola Fletcher. Nicola is a professor here in UCD Vet School and also one of our Ad Astra Fellows. Now I'm going to start a pretty leading question, if you don't mind, Nicola. How does a sheep farmer from Wicklow end up in UCD Vet School?
Well, yeah, we were only ever part-time sheep farmers, so we have a small pedigree flock of Jacob sheep in Wicklow. But how I ended up here was I first did my degree in equine science down in the University of Limerick, and then moved to the Irish Equine Centre as a virology technician. When I was there was a flu outbreak in horses, and we were part of the team that had to isolate and really characterise that flu. It was so interesting that I decided to do a PhD. So I moved to UCD way back in 2002 and started a PhD with Professor Sean Callahan and David Braden here at UCD. So finished that in 2007, and then I went on to actually do a postdoc with Professor Callahan, and I spent some time at the Glasgow Vet School while I was there. So then after that I decided I really wanted to work in human medicine for a while and study some human viruses. So I moved to the University of Birmingham, to the medical school there, and started a postdoc on hepatitis C virus. It was really, really interesting, and one of the big discoveries we made when I was there was that hepatitis C virus doesn't only infect the liver, it can actually infect the brain. So this helped us to explain why people were having neurological disease associated with hepatitis C. But when I was there, I worked a lot with clinicians, and they were research clinicians. So they were able to do the research in the lab and then actually bring it to the hospital and, make real tangible benefits for people and for healthcare. So I decided I wanted a clinical degree. So at that point, I gave up everything, gave up my career, sold my house, and moved in with my grandmother and came back to UCD to do a veterinary degree.
Okay, anybody who sells their home and moves in with their grandmother is really committed, yeah?
I know, yeah. I really, really felt that I wanted to be able to do sort of the full spectrum of bench to bedside or, stall side, whatever. And so when I finished that, I got a job with the British government, went back to the UK, and I worked on high containment, large animal viral diseases, prion diseases and tuberculosis. Did that for just about a year and a half. And then I remember getting off the tube, coming home one day, and I saw the advertisement for the Ad Astra Fellows in UCD, and I just thought that is absolutely for me. So I applied and very, very luckily got one of the fellowships, and I've been here since 2020.
What I'm going to say is, I think maybe we were lucky, because what we've inherited is just this real stalwart of research. What's your current research? What direction is that going in?
Yeah, well, part of the reason, I wanted to do the clinical degree, and something that made me choose veterinary over medicine was One Health. And One Health is the idea that animal, human and environmental health are all interlinked. And you can't improve one without considering the others. And so I really, really wanted, with my veterinary and sort of medical research background, to combine the two and start looking at zoonotic viral diseases. So my research is really about zoonotic viral diseases, so diseases that transmit from animals to humans and sometimes back again. So I mentioned that I started in January 2020, and in March, of course, we know the COVID pandemic came along. So all the plans that I had sort of went out the window, and I was working on COVID in a number of different projects for the first couple of years. So looking at neurological disease associated with COVID, looking at the Phoenix park deer, which we now think possibly was a reverse zoonosis. Those animals became serologically positive for hepatitis or for COVID, but the animals that had antibodies to COVID were the ones that took food from people. So there was a number of projects, but at the moment, hepatitis E is, I think, the most interesting virus in the world, and something I'm really working on and passionate about.
So recently, Nicola, you rang me, and I answered the phone, and you were crying. And I thought, oh my God, what has gone wrong with Nicola, whatever, but in fact, you some phenomenal news.
I did. I found out that I had been successful in a proposal that I'd written for an ERC Synergy Fellowship or project. So ERC Synergy it's a big EU project where several researchers come together that have different backgrounds, and they come up with an idea that they couldn't do alone. So it takes the whole team to do it. So we had come up with this idea to look at a really, really interesting microscopy technique called soft X-ray microscopy, traditionally only available at synchrotron facilities, so big particle accelerators, and but UCD in the last few years has the first in the world commercial small lab scale microscope, which I've been working on. The problem with it is you can only image single cells. And we knew that it's very limited in terms of its ability to be used as a diagnostic. So we've come up with an idea to make microbiopsies of any tissue from any species, animal or human, and image these biopsies in exquisite detail. And the idea is that you could characterize and design treatments for any disease.
Okay, Nicola, make me jealous. Tell me the size of the background.
It's just under 10 million euro.
Just under, okay, well, 10 million is normally the benchmark that we apply, so you just failed that benchmark?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm just a little bit short.
It's so exciting to see the kind of new colleague here in UCD and the new research that they're doing, which is really important from a translational point of view as well. So Nicola, it's just a great pleasure to have and talk to you today. Thanks so much, folks, for listening to this. Bye.